This contractual agreement took place between Don and George. Through realtors, Don sold his revenue house to George, which currently has 2 tenants occupying the house. Prior to George's offer to purchase the house, he spent 2 hours of his own time inspecting the property. Both Don and George signed a standard real estate board house sale contract that stated the house was sold as is. The contract also contained a clause stating that any action on the contract had to be commenced within 1 year of the possession date. 2 months after the expiration of the conditions of the clause, George noticed floorboards covering the basement concrete floor were loose. After tearing up the boards, he discovered extensive rot in the underlying boards. Upon further observation, George discovered substantial cracks in the concrete foundation of the house. One of the tenants, who currently occupies the basement, advised George that while Don owned the house, he completed repairs to the basement ceiling and the drywall covering the basement walls. George sued Don for rescission of the contract. As an alternative, George sued for damages and alleges misrepresentation, innocent, negligent, or fraudulent in the quality of the house. George believes that he was not even sold the house, rather a pile of building rubble.
All rise.
Please be seated. The case of George versus Don in regards to the sale of a rental property is now in session. Arson, you may begin.
Your Honor, my client is here because he was misled by the defendant Don in the contract for the sale of rental property. The plaintiff was misled by not being disclosed the existence of damages in the basement. My client seeks rescission of contract or damages in alternative.
The plaintiff, Your Honor, has no course of action seeing as he chose to inspect the house himself and misled himself in doing so. Thank you.
Your Honor, the defendant clearly covered up the damages with the temporary renovations, making it impossible to see the damages during a regular inspection. Thank you.
Your Honor, had the defendant hired a professional house inspector, it would have led to the discovery of the cracks in the foundation.
Your Honor, I'd like to call the defendant up for questioning.
Permission granted.
Let me begin. So, Don, is it a common practice to do a renovation in the house before selling it?
Yeah, I guess so.
And usually, do these renovations increase the value of the property to the purchaser?
Yeah, they can.
Isn't it true, Don, that you made renovations before selling the property?
Yeah.
It's simple, really. You did that because you knew that if you're going to tell the purchaser about the damages, he will cancel the agreement and we will not sell your house.
Objection, Your Honor. He is putting words in my client's mouth.
Overruled. Continue.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The defense is dismissed from the stand.
Your Honor, I'd like to call the plaintiff up for questioning.
Permission granted. Plaintiff, can you please step up to the stand?
Have you ever signed a contract before, George?
Yes.
Do you usually read the terms and conditions of these contracts?
Yes.
So you were aware that this contract stated that any claims that needed to be made were to be made within 12 months?
Yeah.
And you made the claims 14 months after the contract, did you not?
Objection. Forceful questioning on my client.
Overruled. George, please answer the question.
Yes, I did.
And do you remember the other clause stating that you were buying the house as is, where is?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Plaintiff, you're dismissed from the stand. Based on the findings in the case Hoy versus Lavinovsky, I find this case to have the same outcome, which is no rescission and no damages will be rewarded to the plaintiff. Case dismissed. Based on the findings in the case, Okay, the case of John, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
covered up the damages was a defendant for the increase the price of the value. That was really funny. It's simple, really. It's really simple.
Objection, Your Honor, he's putting words in my mouth. In my mouth. Objection, Your Honor, he's putting words in my mouth. Objection, Your Honor, he is putting clients in my mouth.
It's simple, really.
Permission granted.
That might bring the price of the purchase up for you.
Any claims that needed to be made had to be made within 12 months.
Yes.
Cut.